Hello, Pisces. Welcome to the Capricorn full moon. For those of you who have Capricorn in your moon sign, happy moon day. It's going to be a very beautiful time, I feel. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and pull 3 oracle messages for this reading and 3 tarot messages. Okay. So that's 6 cards in total. This is for your sun, moon, and rising placements. Take what resonates, leave what does not. Please check your moon and or your rising placements for deeper resonance. I am reading for both Western and sidereal charts. Okay, so wherever category you fall under, go ahead and take what resonates with that and, leave what doesn't resonate. Okay, just toss it out. So let's go ahead and jump into your reading, Pisces, for this Capricorn full moon and the advice and guidance that it is bringing to you. What is Capricorn, the energy of Capricorn bringing to the moon, and what kind of conversations are they having about my beautiful Pisces people? Okay? All right, let's get into it. All right, Pisces, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a symbol. It's a simple symbol or shape. I'm going to leave it up on the screen for a few seconds. You guys take whatever downloads or energies or insights that you naturally receive as your overall message and energy for this Capricorn full moon. Okay, and then after that, I will share my insight and intuitive vision for what I see with this card. Also going to turn it this way. Maybe you guys may see it this way. Okay, or this way, it doesn't matter. So Pisces, here's what I see intuitively and visually. For you guys, some of you guys might be trying to grow your hair out. I also see a bowl of soup, or like specifically like noodles, like noodle soup or ramen. Okay, you have all different types of noodle soup dishes out there from different cultures, right? I do see that specifically for you guys. That's just what popped into my head, like something, just a nice rich hearty soup. I know, and for those of you who might be in the southern hemisphere, this might be very beneficial, but I know that it's like summertime, it's hotter, so sometimes like eating soup is just not ideal, but I love a nice soup. I don't care if it is summertime. But I do get like something about your stomach. There's something about broth and vegetables needing, that will aid in your stomach's health. Therefore, that will aid in your overall bodily health as well if you stay consistent with it. Staying hydrated. I'm getting a lot of like bodily health from this card for you, Pisces. There were other signs that got this card too, but I do sense like a lot of like physical bodily like focus. Okay. Yeah. Drinking water, staying hydrated, like, you know, it's very, very important. Take care of your bodies, Pisces, during this time, during this Capricorn full moon. Take care of your bodies. You guys are water signs, so this could have a lot to do with that aspect of your chart. So wherever water falls in your chart, pay attention to that during this Capricorn full moon. Okay. Water also helps ease, the energy of water helps ease us in, like, transitions us. It makes the transition easier and more fluid and less painful. So as we move into a new chapter in our lives, the transition period is not as grueling and as painful or as uncomfortable. You know, there's not a lot of friction or inflammation. Okay, again, there may be some inflammation happening in your body, Pisces. Please pay attention to that. Okay, maybe in your joints, it may be, I don't know, in your muscles. Just make sure that you guys are staying hydrated. I'm seeing steam. So some of you guys may need to take a nice warm bath or a hot bath or an herbal bath. I do see that for some of you. Okay. Interesting. Let's go ahead and pull some more cards, you guys. We have 2 more oracle messages to pull for you guys, but just make sure you guys are taking care of your body during this time. There may be some instances in your life, Pisces, that you may feel like you need to try to control or force, whether you're forcing an ending or forcing a beginning. Don't force it. Just kind of go with the flow of it, even if it feels uncomfortable. You received place presence above perfection. Place presence above perfection. Very interesting. So Pisces, you might be dealing with or have dealt with in the past overworking yourself towards a future that you saw was successful for you, but I still get this energy of not really 100% being happy with what you're doing as you work towards the future. And that's because you are not taking a step back to look at what you're doing and look at yourself and look at why you're doing it. We live in a time where Forward movement is the only way to live. It is the only way to exist. You can't stop. You can't take time to observe what's going on inside of you. We're constantly looking and observing what is going on outside of us. Some of you Pisces have kind of become a bit of a slave to social media, or you've become a slave to your technological devices. During this Capricorn full moon, it might be good for you to turn your phone off. Just find a time of day where you can be on your phone and a time of day where you put your phone down and turn it off, or put it on Do Not Disturb. Turn certain apps off on your phone for a time. Some of you are just working way too much towards something, or trying to push a situation forward, but you don't even really love the work that you're doing because you don't necessarily truly love yourself in the process. If you don't love yourself, how can you truly love anything? If you tell somebody you love them, how is that true if you can't even love yourself? I'm not saying, that you guys are, false, or, that when you say you love someone that it's false just because you don't love yourself. But I'm just, what I'm saying is, how can you truly live a life of happiness, of honesty, of abundance when you're not abundant as an individual? If you can't look at yourself right now, Pisces, and just embrace where you are, embrace who you are, embrace what your body looks like, right? Then how can you embrace what you're working towards? How can you embrace a future? You are in your present moment is the future of your past, right? If you don't truly love who you are right now in the future of your past, then that means that you were not loving yourself in your past. So you now have to kind of change the pattern here. And you have to learn how to love and embrace the present moment, the present time, and the present you, so that when it's time for the future you to finally become your present you, you can embrace that. Does that make sense? Yeah. So let's go ahead and pull one more oracle message, and then we're going to jump into the tarot. Think about someone, Pisces, who you look at. You don't necessarily have to look up to them, but if you, even if you do, think of someone, I would say someone that you hang out with, or someone in your social circles, or someone on social media or on TV that you look at and you're just like, oh my God, I love their hair, or I love the way they dress, I love their life, I love their, their personality, whatever, right? There's a moment where you start to compare yourself, right, to that person. But maybe instead of comparing yourself to that person, stop and think about, how did that person become that person? What did they have to go through? What was their upbringing like for them to become the person that they are? And then you think about what you've been through, and then you look at the person that you are, right? And then you start to realize you're two different people. And that's okay. You never know the struggles that someone else is going. We may be looking up to somebody and being like, oh my God, their life is so amazing. Or, you know, I'm working so hard to get this type of life, right? But you got to really stop yourself, Pisces, and really think about what is the real work that needs to go into it in order to really have, not just have the life that you want, but to embrace it. Because you can have the life that you've been praying for, but you don't necessarily embrace it because you're not happy with yourself. Does that make sense? Okay. I just want to make sure, like, I'm, whatever intuitive messages that I'm getting, that I voice that. You received salut. Salut. And it says vitality, health, and energy. That is what you need to be focused on, Pisces. Don't focus on the future too much. You know, work towards the future, absolutely. But where's your vitality? How is your health doing? How is your energy levels? If you're feeling depressed, you're feeling heavy, you're feeling like you're just being dragged, you're dragging yourself, towards your future, change your diet. Change what you're drinking throughout the day. But don't be obsessive over it, right? Like, don't, Pisces, if this Capricorn full moon is not about forcing anything. It's not about forcing anything. Capricorn is Saturn energy, right? Saturn forces us to look at the truth of the matter, the truth of what we're doing and why we're doing it, right? So you have that mixture of Saturn and the moon together, right? And Capricorn being like, hey, the moon is there to communicate what Saturn and Capricorn are trying to get you to understand, get all of us to understand. But the moon does it in a much more softer way. And she's just like, hey, here's what Saturn is saying. Here's what Capricorn is saying to all of us. And for you, Pisces, you need to really pay attention to why you're doing things, what you're working towards. This is how you can bless yourself. Sometimes, you don't need to, if you can, go treat yourself to a nice little fancy, drink or dinner or snack, whatever. Go to your favorite restaurant, go to your favorite cafe or grocery store, get something fancy for yourself, get something cute if that's what you want, if you're able to do that. But sometimes just a nice homemade cup of coffee or a cup of tea or a nice homemade drink works just as fine. Don't label things as better than the other, right? For whatever reason. Take yourself, like, where are you right now in this moment? Like, you might be at work. I don't know. Right now in this moment, what is it that you can do in this present moment to really connect with yourself in your present time? Let go of distractions. Let go of like, oh, this is not working out. That's not work. Okay, it's not working out. Well, why is it not working out? Maybe you need to journal. You could do that in the present moment, right? You should be focused during this Capricorn full moon. You need to be focused on your vitality. You need to be focused on your health. You need to be focused on, you know, boosting your energy, okay? What kind of foods can you eat or drink, right? Food can actually be drank as well, depending, you know, like coffee is a food, you know, tea is a food, it's an herb. What can you do in the present moment? That's going to boost your vitality towards life. And really, like I was saying before, like with this card here, I was getting a lot of physical health for you Pisces. And that's where it starts. You know, you don't have to like do this whole, you know, routine, eating routine and completely change your diet necessarily. If you need to, you need to. But some of you guys, it's just as simple as, you know, going to get some more sunlight, being outside more, right? It can be as simple as, you know, just making sure that you're drinking water regularly. It can be as simple as, you know, getting more cardio in. You don't have to go to the gym for that. You know what I mean? If you want to, yeah, if that's something that you want to do. But it's like, it's something as simple as just like going for a jog, going for a hike, just making sure it's consistent. What is it that you can do to keep you focused on you right now, in the form that you are right now, right? Bottom of the deck, you have the 𝑍�🋼, and it says readiness, bounty, and plenty. Both of these cards are divisible by 3. So number 3 might be very significant for you. Okay. Look at yourself, Pisces. Embrace it. Doesn't matter how it looks. It doesn't matter how it looks compared to somebody else. Whoever is embracing themselves in the now that they're in, let them embrace themselves in the now that they're in, and you embrace yourself in the now that you're in. Okay, let's go ahead and pull some tarot. All right, Pisces. The Chariot is at the bottom of the deck. Stay disciplined. Go have your workout. Go for that jog. Go for that hike. Not just a hike or a jog. Pick times throughout the week, you know. It can be daily. It can be bi-daily, where you're just like, I'm going to go on my jog, or I'm going to do my meditation, or, you know, I'm going to do my yoga. I'm going to do my Pilates. I'm going to do my stretches, you know, do a facial, do a hair mask or some type of hair treatment, like something that you can do on a weekly basis or a daily basis or bi-daily basis, right? But it's consistent. Read a book. Go to the library. You know, I did that. You know what I mean? There are just regular things, like I'm a Pisces moon, just putting that out there. Okay, I'm a Pisces moon. So, you know, it's good to have consistency. Okay. It's all about willpower and self-discipline, Pisces, under this Capricorn full moon. You have the 9 of Cups. This is all about wish fulfillment. This is all about the present moment, loving the present moment, loving what you have. And because you loving what you have also pushes you to love what's on its way to you. Whatever concerns that you have, like with the 9 of Cup energy, it's like, toss it in the wind. Okay, toss it in the waters. Let the spirit realm, let your ancestors, let your spiritual team take those concerns away, right? Knight of Swords. Okay? as you move forward, Pisces, you know, some of you guys move very quickly. For some of you, especially if you have Gemini in your chart, just make sure that you know what you're doing as you move forward. You have support. You have people in your life who actually, you know, can support you and, you know, help you stay in the present moment. You know, you may have some people you can go do yoga with, or go meditate with, or go on a jog with, or maybe, you know, go bike riding with. I don't know. Have a drawing session with if you guys are artists. Okay, maybe have like a book club. I don't know. Like there's something that you can, you know, I see the Knight of Air as like support from others or support from another person, right? But I also see the Knight of Swords as somebody who is, again, very vital, very energetic, okay? Very like ADHD energy kind of, or ADD, but it's okay in a very positive way. It's like you want to go after what you want, Pisces. Take care of your body. But that in turn, in this this Capricorn full moon, is teaching you, you got to love yourself as you are now. As you move forward towards having clearer skin, longer hair, healthier hair, I don't know, less weight, more muscle, a better gut health, whatever it is that you're trying to heal within yourself in your life, you have to love where you are, or at least embrace where you are first. And that can be hard. That can be hard. You know, nothing happens overnight, you guys. Three of Earth. You have the Three of Pentacles. Creativity. Create with others, right? Be a part of a project. Like I said, go bike riding, go jogging, go hiking with a group. Togetherness. Find a group of people or a person that is willing to hold you accountable to the task that you need to get done throughout the day. That's actually going to help you and heal you and grow you, you know? I also see a therapist or some type of coach with the Knight of Swords. This is somebody who's a coach who is going to wake up early and make sure that you get to the gym, you know, make sure that you know, get to your class, whatever. This is good for you, Pisces. Hold yourself accountable in every present moment. Don't go rushing towards a future that you really are not sure you're really actually ready to embrace, because you first have to embrace your present moment first. Embrace yourself as you are now first, okay? Happy full moon, Pisces. Much love and light to all of you. I wish you guys the very best of luck on this journey. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope to see you guys in your next reading. Bye, y'all.